Hello, family. My name is Robert Akinrolabu. I'm sure some of you know me, and it's possible that some of you have not heard of me yet. But I'm one of the visionaries of the God Chosen Nations. The God Chosen Nations is an organization that produces world-class leaders, influential leaders, people that are top in their industries, in the economy, in finance, in business. And I really wanted to pick on a very important topic that I think leaders should be aware of, because as we are beginning to come to a very pivotal time in human history, it's very important for us to understand the key ingredients of relationship.
Like and subscribe.
All right, that's a very good question. I think that the issue of relationship is something that has not been dealt with properly among young people, especially in our schools. You realize that we hardly speak on relationship. And for me, I think as human beings, God created us to be relational beings. We are social beings by default. And so I think the issue of relationship is something that we need to take very serious. For example, from the moment you come into existence, you have to build a relationship with your mother, you have to build a relationship with your father, you have to build a relationship with your teacher, you have to build a relationship with your siblings, and then taking it externally, you have to build a relationship in your schools, you have friends, all of these things. So relationship is something that I think young people need to pay attention to in this period, because you see, you cannot maximize your potentials and even your ambitions without relationship. Let's take, for example, you're in school and maybe you have a vision to be the head prefect of the school. I'm just giving you an example because I'm speaking to young people. You cannot attain that position without being friends with certain sets of people. I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about. In school, you notice that the most popular guys are usually the ones that are selected as prefects. Let's take it to university. Let's take the position of a student union and all these things. They are usually popular people. What is being popular? Popularity means that you're charming. People love you. You relate with people. You greet people. You're kind. You just know how to touch people's soft spots. So I think that young people need to start being taught about relationship, the importance of it, how relationship is a vehicle to destiny. Such a beautiful question as well. I think for me, it's very important for you to identify yourself, right? You need to know yourself. You need to come to the place of self-identification, understanding your framework, understanding your nature. There are some people that are, normally quiet. There are some people that are outgoing, and all of this can play a serious impact in our relationship. You will notice that if you are hardly an outgoing type, then it becomes more difficult for you to be relational. So my suggestion is to such people is, if you will not the outgoing type, then you can make use of your social media, right? You have friends on your social media. Let me mention this, that building relationship is very therapeutic. There is a way, it has a certain feeling actually. When you keep to yourselves, sometimes it could make you begin to overthink on life, overthink situations. But when you're busy relating with people, then you get to enjoy the flavor of knowing another human being. You get to understand the unique, intricate diversity of every human being. So for an introvert, I'll say that I think taking advantage of social media, yeah. And then for someone as an extrovert that goes out a lot, just walk up to people. I know we are not used to these kinds of things, but you will notice that white people don't have problem relating with people because they just have that nature of being friendly. So I think it's very important that you are very friendly. If you're an extrovert, you're already in the midst of people anyway. So you can walk up to people, you can exchange numbers with people, you can speak to people, talk to them about their interests. For example, if you're a football lover, you can talk to somebody, you can talk to your guy, just talk to guys and, what club do you support? And all of that. So, but the most important thing I want to say is that you cannot build relationship without being friendly. So the key factor of being relational is being a friendly person. Wow, that's another beautiful question again. Like I said, one key component of maintaining relationship is value proposition. You have to be valuable in your relationship, right? There has to be something you bring on board. I give you an example. You see, when I talk about value, people mostly think that value means they have to be do something very heavy. No, it could just be that somebody just knows that when I wake up in the morning, I get to get a good morning from somebody. You could be that. You could just be that person when I say, I'll always check up on somebody every day. That is value. That's value. Value is also, in a way, looking at your unique gifts, because every one of us have unique gifts. So what's your unique gift? You can offer it for free to others. In fact, let me mention this. One of the easiest ways to be valuable in terms of relationship is to offer your unique gift for free to others. Because when you offer your unique gift for free to others, you are drawing them to you. People will naturally flow towards somebody that also has value to their life. So you asked a very important question. I need to mention that you cannot derive value from a relationship until you yourself have become valuable. Because by nature, human beings are drawn to value. So when you yourself become valuable, and then you know that you have become valuable, then people are drawn to you. And then it becomes easy to derive value from a relationship. So you can derive value sometimes. When you are valuable, you don't need to ask sometimes. People just tend to want to meet your need. People just tend to want to do things for you. In fact, when you are valuable, people begin to be proactive in trying to meet your needs. So sincerely, one of the easiest ways to derive value is for you yourself to be valuable. And I said that for you to be valuable, it's all about just giving the world your unique gift, your unique quality. There's something you have in you that others don't have. It could be your voice, it could be your smile, it could be the way you bake a cake, it could be the way you counsel people. We all have a unique gift, and that unique gift should be given for free to the world. And when you are giving it for free to the world, then you automatically derive values from your environment and from those that are around you. Okay, so the issue of young people always wanting to demand for financial assistance from valuable relationship. I think it's an issue that has really plagued us as Africans, because you see, in African we have a dependent mentality. So it goes back to our mindset, right? An average Nigerian goes to school and they are being taught to be dependent. We are meant to be deployed, not employed. So when you go to school, most times you're being taught to be employed. So you study biology, you study mathematics, you study all of these things, which is very good. However, as an average African, we are not being mentored and taught to be deployed, to deploy our gifts. And so because of that dependent mindset, of course, some of it also is an overflow of our family also, because when you come from a family where the father does everything, the children are not being encouraged to take summer schools, for example. There are some things called summer schools where, you go and work, you earn some money for yourself, not because you need the money, but because your family or your father is beginning to teach you how to be valuable to your world. So I'm saying that there is a backlog of a mindset issue, which is that we are dependent. Even if you look at the way we deal with the government, you will see there's this common saying that one of the US presidents said. He says that do not think of what your government can do for you, but think about what you can do for your government. So you look at the way we treat even the government. We want the government to build our schools. We want them to build water wells for us. We want them to clean our gutters, clean our streets. We want government to do everything. But that's not how we're meant to be as human beings. Like I said, life gives to those who give. So when you are a person of value, then you don't even need to beg for money. Remember, I mentioned that you serve your gift for free. When you serve your gift for free, then you don't even need to beg for money. The way life is designed is that things are meant to flow to you naturally when you become a person of value. So my advice to young people in dealing with these things is that I think one of the major problems of this mindset is that we always want to derive immediate gratification from relationships. So for example, you are connected to a very talented, famous, wealthy person and you are looking, okay, what can I get from this person? No, it's a wrong mindset. You need to start looking rather than what can you get from this person? What can I give to this person? Because every man or every woman, every successful person that you see have a point of contact of need. So everyone needs something. For example, you could go to the person's house and offer to wash their car for free. What you're doing is that you're making yourself valuable. There is no excuse for not being valuable. There is no excuse. You could offer. Always look to offer yourself for free to wealthy people, to successful people, to gifted people. And then you will see that naturally, they will be the one to give you things rather than you asking. So like I said, in summary, what I'm saying is that it's a mindset issue. And I think that one of the reasons why we're doing videos like this is to begin to re-educate a generation to understand that one of the ways you can derive value from relationship from successful people is not by begging or being needy, but being valuable. All right, again, that's a little bit of a question. I love the way you asked me a variety of questions that touches on many aspects of societal needs. And this one is focusing on leadership. And I think that relationship is very, very important when it comes to how we deal in leadership. In fact, let me put it like this. There's no leadership without relationship. That's how vital relationship is. There's no leadership. And the perfect example of leadership is Jesus Christ, who is my role model, really. Because you notice that Jesus was very personal with even strangers. I'm not even talking about his followers. Jesus was very personal with strangers. Everybody that walked up to him that he didn't know, he asked for their name, he asked for their need. For example, the blind Bartimaeus, he said, what do you want? So as a leader, we have to be very relational. And I don't think you can be relational without the help of the Holy Spirit. I know this is not a religious setting, right? It's a societal conversation, but I'm telling you that without the Holy Spirit, you can't be relational. He teaches us how to be relational. He is the secret to relationship. You know, he gives us the wisdom of relationship because he understands the intricate nature of man. So sometimes somebody is not, what a person, if you're leading a group of people, you might think that being a good leader is taking the person to an eatery. And that might not be what that person's destiny is. It could be that what that person's destiny is, that is for you to recommend a book to the person. Now imagine as a leader, you recommend a book to one of your followers and that book liberates them. Don't you think that follower will be more committed to you? So relationship is very, very important. We need to be personal with ourselves. We need to be personal with our leaders. We need to be personal with our followers. We need to be personal with those we lead, strangers. We need to be personal. You cannot be a leader without being relational. Leadership, distant. I think one of the things that plagues us in Africa is this thing I'm talking about. Our leaders are they are distant from those that they lead. They don't identify with our pain. There's no empathy because, they are not going through what we are going through. And so you see that when such situations arises, there begins to be a revolution, especially from the youth. You can see what happened in October 22 at the toll gate, right? There is a clamor among the young people now. They want a relational leadership. They want to be able to ask questions from their leader. They want to be able to relate with their leader. They want to be able to be understood by their leader. And so as leaders, the onus is on us right now to be very relational. Sometimes we just need to be more understanding as leaders. Yes, because we're in that position of leadership, there's that tendency to always want things to be working and be effective. But we have to remember we are dealing with people. We are dealing with people, and even God himself is very patient with us. How much more leaders? We must learn to be patient with those that we lead. We must learn to be relational with those that we lead. And also to talk to the followers as well. You must learn to be supportive to your leaders. You have to understand that even though they are leaders, they are humans. And humans are prone to mistakes. Humans are prone to errors. So you have to be very patient. You have to be understanding. You also have to be empathize with your leader. Support your leader. Sometimes you don't even have to agree to support your leader. For example, I use Nigeria. I don't have to agree with Tinubu to support his leadership. I will do my own best and make sure that my society is clean and make sure my society is safe. If we live like that, believe me, it's just a matter of time before everyone's needs are met. The needs of the leaders are met. The needs of the followers are met, because we are working towards a corporate goal, which is unity, peace, and righteousness. Thank you so much. All right. So for me, I think leadership starts with self. You cannot talk about leadership without first leading yourself. So the question is, what are the values of a leader? A leader is disciplined. A leader has integrity. A leader is self-motivated. A leader has a vision. A leader has a mission. So these are the things that guides a leader. So you can't say you want to be a leader if you cannot first lead yourself. A leader is timely. Are you getting what I'm saying? So you first have to be able to lead yourself. And I believe that every human being has the spirit of leadership. Every human being has the spirit of leadership. And if you run away from leadership, it's more or less a reflection of your lack of wanting to take responsibility rather than the fact that you can't be a leader. Everyone has the capacity to be a leader. And I believe every young person has that ability in them, resident in them. In fact, I'm using this opportunity to speak to schools around the world. Let us incorporate leadership curriculum. Let's speak on leadership. Let's get young people, age 10, 12, 15, 20. Let's start emphasizing leadership. There is a growing concern for leadership. I think that we do not realize the gravity of what is going on in the world without leadership. No matter how a society is, the moment the leadership are not up to task, the society becomes a reflection of its leadership. And so I'm encouraging young people, you need to start taking leadership seriously. You need to volunteer in organizations, volunteers in NGOs, volunteers in communities, volunteers in churches, volunteers in kingdom organizations. Make sure you are adding value to the society every day. Make sure you are a person of value. Make sure you are a relational person. I think I'll just put everything I've said today in 3 key words. The only way you can be a leader, an effective leader, number 1, be a valuable person. Number 2, lead yourself. That's number 2. And then lastly, be relational. I think I won't end this by saying that for you to be perfectly relational, you have to love people. Love people. You cannot be perfectly relational without being selfless. Go into every relationship looking to benefit the other person rather than yourself. If all of us go into relationship like this, believe me, our relationship will be really, really beautiful. And I can tell you, one of the best things that have happened to me are the kinds of relationship I have around me. Relationships are so powerful. And I also want to use this video to appreciate someone very dear to me, Apostle Joshua Selma, that began to emphasize on relationship. And of course, I took it a notch higher and began to dig into that topic, relationship, and I begin to see the benefits of it. The benefits of relationship. Relationships are so powerful. And you know that even in the kingdom, and even in the kingdom to come, that it's all about relationship. It's going to be fathers and sons. It's going to be father and sons. So the issue of relationship is not just about this age, but even the age to come. You have to be able to relate with the Father. You have to relate with the Son. You have to relate with the Holy Spirit. You have to relate with other believers that are in that kingdom. So are you saying that this issue of relationship is not just for this age? It is something we need to start learning, even for the age to come. I love you from the depth of my heart. Thank you so much for listening. It's such a privilege to be here. God bless you.